Hello. Hope everything's working well. Looks like we are live. Nice, nice. Okay, cool. So I thought it might be fun. I was gonna do this anyway, and I thought it could be cool to just play around and talk to everybody as I just kind of do some coding. So I've been working on this little RPG prototype kind of little thing, and it doesn't do much. Just have you kind of go around, you can click and you can click on stuff. You can go back and forth, nothing too crazy. And so it's a lot of kind of plugging things together and then starting to add functionality in later. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm just kind of doing it there. Hopefully I am online. I think I am. So if anybody hops on, let me know if you can hear me. That'll be nice to know. Otherwise, I'll continue with this. So we do escape. Escape and defend. We'll probably want to just not go anywhere specifically. Items will probably do something similar. So right now we're kind of keeping functionality really basic. So we'll move on from there. Right now, the thing that I want to mess around with is a few errors. One is we can kind of run back and forth. Oh no. Bitrate's being weird, but I think we're okay for now. Hopefully it doesn't cause too many problems. So as you can see, like, I don't know if my input's not normal, but if I go back and forth, it all works fine. I can go to the end, keep clicking, it doesn't change anything. But as soon as I go up or down, it like loses track, and now we're on like weird pieces. I don't know where it is. We might add a cursor to kind of keep track. Not ideal, but that's one idea. Also, these are acting like it's like full buttons, which they should, but they're also like really big. And when I do this, it like colors the entire thing, but I kind of want it to color the character and it to like flash, kind of like some sort of animation or something. So that's kind of the first challenge is doing that. So we'll be messing around with that. I think a lot of that's contained in where are we modulating it? It's been a while since I've looked at this, but okay, so we're setting this on, and we're applying it directly to the button. Ideally, we don't want it directly on the button. We want it on like a layer abstracted of some sort. And this is where I'm a little bit woefully unprepared for this. Oh, what in the world is this? Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to fix that, so I'll just leave it. Okay, cool. Thanks, Afriel. I keep getting warnings about bitrate, so hopefully everything is fine. I have the door closed, so it's meh. But so yeah, just kind of deciding where to go next. I like how it highlights the buttons. Maybe we can change our theme a little bit. We highlight? I don't know if I like that. So let's just throw some stat blocks empties here. Okay. We'll save all this. Try again. So right now it only highlights the text, which is kind of nice. Does not highlight anything else. And that's kind of nice, but now we have the question, how do we make sure that the player knows who they're targeting? Interesting. It could be an enemy button. Then we can apply the animator right there. We just need to find out when. So let's just set up the animation and then we can find out how we can apply it from there. That might be the best way to go. So we'll pull up the enemy button. Scene. Add an animation player. Add an animation. New. I'll just copy whatever. I was working with a tutorial, and so I'm just gonna copy some of the like ways that they were going about this, just because I'm still learning. So why not? Okay, we're gonna modulate self. We're gonna create a reset track. We're gonna do the reset so it keeps going. And at halfway point, we're gonna reframe. And I'm thinking some sort of red. Maybe a little lighter red. Okay. And we'll key it. And we'll play. I kind of like this. Now the question is this going to be enough for, like, this is already a pretty red character, having red back and forth, but it's not bad. For now, this will be what we do. I'm sure this could be something like being hurt. That might be another use case for this, but okay, so that's good to know. And we can start, we can edit the script here. We'll add a function, or we'll add a onReady var animation player there. Let's do onReady. Normally we'd just like want to have it like play reset. And see if that all looks right. That looks right. Okay. And then we can remove process. We don't need process. And then we'll see what happens if we just have it start playing the highlight animation. Oh, wrong cannon. Okay, cool. Oh, nice. They're all going. Looks like a good selection. So we'll have that start and reset. We'll have some sort of function that manages function highlight play can be the Boolean. default to true. If play otherwise, we'll play reset. Easy peasy. And we'll be consistent. Cool. For a second, I thought it flashed for like a very brief moment. Nope. Okay. Eyes playing tricks on me. Cool. Cool. Okay, so we have some sort of highlight system. And this is where I'm kind of lost. Is I have the button. I could call the parent of the button and just say like, hey, button, do whatever you need to do. But I'm not sure the button has a script. It could call its parent and say, do whatever you need to do to make this highlighting work. That could work. The parent could self-modulate the whole deal. That might be the way to go. It could from the top down do this. It could say to the top layer. Interesting. That might be the way to go. So instead of saying to the button modulate, we're handed the button. What if we say to the parent, or wouldn't be self-modulate, it would be modulate. Okay. Parents. We're gonna test it out with modulate. I think by default it's always white. Yeah, Neil, this is my my way of bragging about my ability to code. Except I can't code, so that'll... Oh, this is not this button. Okay, let's see if that's consistent. Because if we can just get the whole parent... Yeah, I don't mind this. Okay, cool. I kind of like this, but we're going to try to use that highlight animation script thing. So I think that's probably the best way to go. And that might be how we do this. So, I think each of these are its own. Oh, okay. So we can have them each have a highlight thing themselves. So enemy button has its own highlight, so we can just have it call automatically highlight. So menu can just say get parent highlight. True. And then highlight false over here. And then we'll just have to add some stuff to the, not the player buttons, the action menu buttons. Okay, I need to keep track of this. Oh, process. Let's just get rid of all these. I don't need these. And we'll add a function for highlight. It's gonna look a lot like this other one, so we can just borrow this thing. This needs to return it. Void. So the signature should look the same. I don't know if it should be play or not. That seems to be confusing, but we'll not worry about it right now. In this case, do I like the red box or the red text more? We can always change it. It's not that big a deal. So we'll just call like button dot modulate equals red, color red. Or I think we've been doing crimson, if true, and then otherwise we'll do false. If play. Nah. Okay. Let's try this. Oh. I like this. I like this a lot. And then if I exit, turns off. That's nice. That's nice. Okay. I don't know if this is the smartest thing. Having in menu it like grabbing the parent and then calling highlight, but I also don't want to apply a script to every button to manage that. That seems to be a worse solution. This at least allows me to define highlight uniquely for every parent. Might be the best way to go. Interesting. Yeah, so we've managed that. That was more than I expected to actually get done though. That seems pretty cool. Let me look at my, so I have some more code over here. I've been kind of basing this off of. I was working on a tutorial, and then this is my attempt to kind of use some of that. But there's a lot here that I think is still not implemented and I'm still working on. Like a lot of this is the same though. Let's find out if we can catch it exiting the tree. I think that's important. Okay, that didn't catch anything. That's interesting. Oh, but we did. Interesting. In typed array. and I typed this array. What array is it looking for? In get buttons. Get buttons. Get buttons. Oh gosh. Yeah. I've been getting myself into trouble by doing this. Huh. I'm still working. Let me make sure I keep this up. Okay, cool. So we want to see when it's exiting the tree. Focus exited. Where's this tree call? I feel like this. I feel like this is called anywhere. It's just bizarre. Hey, mostly not working. How's it going? We're debugging right now, which is fun. Interesting. Okay, so can I search find dim files? Oh, okay. See, I am still learning all this, obviously. We're gonna find tree exiting. Okay, so we have a few examples. They're all in menu. Behavior tree exiting is connected to untree exiting. Okay, it's both on that one. Make our own function on tree exiting. And on button tree exiting. But I don't think we use on button tree exiting anywhere. Oh, the joy of following tutorials is then you need to learn how to actually do it yourself. When do we even call exiting? Because I feel like exiting is if exiting return. Okay, for some reason. Okay, yeah, we'll put some breakpoints here. Find out what's going on. I feel like it should have caught that I exited the tree there. So how is the tree defined? It should be like the parent, right? The parent should kind of hold it. How is this done otherwise? Times like this, you know, I'm so glad I have two screens that I can jump back and forth between. Here, I'll show everybody what I'm looking at. The way it's not super horrible, but I'm just looking at a different set of code that looks almost exactly like everything else, to see if there's any difference. So let's just like exiting. Okay, we have our boolean, we have connect it, we have exiting. Okay, what are the other differences? Menu is being used in this. What is that? That's a window default. Okay, let's actually try to do something that's actually the same. Okay, so this is it. This box that holds a bunch of buttons. So really, the current button is not the best way to do this. We'll need to find another way of going about this. So yeah, what is the tree? Let's do that. Like on ready. Like let's print whatever this tree is. Get tree. What does get tree produce? Name. I don't know what kind of node stuff happens here. Scene tree. Number. Documentation time. Woo! Returns a scene tree that contains this node. If this node is not inside the tree, generates an error. Okay. What is a scene tree? Hierarchy of nodes. One of the most important classes. The scene tree manages the hierarchy of nodes in a scene as well as the scene themselves. Nodes can be added, fetched, or removed. You can use the scene tree to organize your nodes into groups. Every node can be accessed as many groups as you want to create. So what if we because I have a feeling we're doing too low, and so it's missing it. And is this worth our time right now? This is like a bug that could be missed. Dot set paused? What happens if we pause this? I closed something I didn't want to close. Okay. In menu, let's just try pausing the tree. We'll see what actually is paused. So get tree dot set or dot pause is equal to true. Set pause. Oh, this is not here. Here we go. I feel like leaving the tree is maybe confusing. Maybe I'm not talking about the same tree here. This is like a naming convention that they're using that's odd. On tree. On tree. Exiting, tree exiting, connect. Emitted when a node is just about to exit the tree. The node is still valid. As such, this is the right place for deinitialization or deconstructor. Someone's about to leave. It'll put the on tree exit. Wait, okay, so I haven't tried this. I wonder if this is actually processing this. No. That's not what it's processing. Huh. Okay. This isn't useful for anybody. We're just gonna move on to something else. We'll mess around with something else. So we need some sort of queue to keep this kind of in order. So let's do that. Do like an initiative. Who knows what this is gonna be? This is gonna be an array, and it's gonna be empty for now. On ready, I assume we'll populate it, so we'll add some sort of to do. Populate initiative active. Can't spell. Okay, so we're gonna populate our initiative. We're gonna like have a, well, in our loop, right? We're gonna process the turn, so we're gonna find out who goes first. So I'll probably start. And then to do start initiative order. We're gonna call it initiative. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna populate the initiative. So we're gonna take everybody who we have access to, all of our players. We're gonna make lots of to-dos. Make the screen reflect this. Make the screen reflect, make stage reflect. Game state. So in that case, we want to have the right enemies here. So we want to populate the enemies here. We want to have all of our players showing up correctly. So like here, we want that to show as opposed to empty. And we don't need to save it. And yeah, I think that's pretty good. That's a good set. So we'll put everybody on the board. We'll have it in the initiative. So initiative might come next. Might be second. So generate actors maybe. And of course by default we'll start out with pre-generated actors. We're going to populate the initiative based on those actors. Depending on what's in those processes, we're going to make our state reflect that. We're going to start our initiative order. And, you know, the first person to go, if it's the player, is going to get this set of instructions. And we're going to start this way. And then whoever's next, you know, they're going to have their thing. And then we'll have our info bar reflect that. We'll see how that goes. So we're gonna probably have two different vars, and it's like var enemies. We'll have an array for the enemies to populate into. I'll probably do the same for players. And I kind of want to make this, the way I've been thinking about this is because I want some kind of accessibility between the creatures and the players, or sorry, the players and the enemies. I want them all to be some sort of creature type. So I'm going to say like, of type creature. And somehow I want consistency between the occupants of these two arrays reflected in the initiative, and then the initiative can just take whatever's at front, process whatever's at front, depending on whether they're a member of the enemies or the players, and then push them to the back of the queue. So it's like process turn. If it's a player, do this. If it's an enemy, do this. And then in the end, put them to the back. So we'll add something like that. We'll say process turn. I think, yeah, underscore turn. Okay, so we're going to take our initiative, dot pop front. So we're even just taking it off entirely. And in process turn, we'll probably at the same time check for win conditions or loss conditions too. We'll see. I don't have a creature type yet, so it's not entirely there, but so like I don't have a type yet so far. Var actor is equal to the first member of this. We're going to process their turn. And then after we process their turn, we're going to check win conditions / loss conditions. So we'll have some sort of like function you can do like function win loss. This is I'm just in my head I'm like I'm gonna make like the most horrible like win loss, and it's gonna return an integer. And I mean, honestly, if it's like, if it returns true, right? Like theoretically, we close this faster anyway. So it's gonna return a boolean. We'll process the win loss here, and we'll do whatever we need to, and then the process turn will end in the background. And then we can always move this in the future if we need to. So we'll have this be a bool. And by default, we'll just return false. Okay. So, and we'll do var battle over. is equal to, I mean, we don't even need to save into a variable. We can just say if win-loss resolve battle. Otherwise, we're going to take actor, and we're going to take our initiative array dot append actor, and we'll probably call process turn again. I think this is this feels weird to have some sort of like recursive like nonsense, but if we're not focusing on some sort of active turn system, that might be the way to go. But who knows? Expected indent block. Oh, we'll have to just have some sort of return, we'll say. Okay. This means we need to make some sort of creature class. And I am not super certain on how best to do this. I think we just can make a new script. And we can just create new creatures where necessary. I don't know how we're going to save these. But we can assign them to slots for sure. And then we can have those slots create something on the fly. Maybe we'll do that for the player slots, and we'll see where we can go from there. So we'll just call this a creature.script. Okay. And creature we can open. And we'll make this class name. Creature. Extending node. I don't know. I've heard stuff about resource being good. Maybe we could look up some documentation for resource real fast. Source. I remember hearing something, and again, I'm just kind of picking this up from past stuff I've looked at about from this tutorial I was watching. So everything I've learned from is from one tutorial, and I don't even know if it's a good tutorial. So maybe I need to. I have more tutorials to watch. There's something about duplication. Like duplication was really helpful here. Duplicate. So yeah, what's duplicate? Duplicates this resource, returning a new resource with its exported properties copied from the original. That's pretty cool. That is helpful. And I don't need this to be like a node. Like it doesn't have to be a thing. It can be. It can be applied to something. But, you know, I don't want to cause anything too weird. So let's go for it. Why not? Like let's just play. Let's have fun. So we're gonna extend resource. Creature. Creature is going to have hit points, of course. HP. Is equal to, we'll probably have a max HP. So this is a current HP. Max HP. To 1. Max. HP. And then we'll do the same for MP. forgot that that's a thing. YouTube has this thing where there's like two different types of chats. There's the top chat and the live chat. And so they automatically like block out certain things. Luckily no one put in anything, but I always forget to change it. But NP, XP and NP, I've been working on this chart. We're gonna, how do I hide this information? We'll show it real fast. It's on the internet, it'll be there forever, but so I've been working on this this chart for a bunch of different potential characters for this RPG and different stats and everything. So I've been working on that. You also see have the Wikipedia page for Odin up. Who knows what that's about? So we can go from there. I think that's pretty helpful. So everything's gonna have a level. I think that's important. And then on ready, we can assign the correct values for everything. And this is always something that we can just put somewhere else, and it's not that big a deal to move this. But we do need to write down this information at some point. By default, this one. This could be something exported, but there's some weird stuff with the onReady stuff. Max HP, yes. I want to like an HP growth stat. MP growth. And then we have a whole bunch of stats here. We're bar strength. Strength, magic. Vitality. Charisma. Agility. That's luck. And then we'll add like a mystery, like Dex, just in case I want to add that later. I've been avoiding it, but honestly, part of it is classic. Oh yeah, sorry, I missed your message, Simon. I did graduate with CS, with a CS degree. This is not very good code, but I have done a little bit of it. My coding for my job is it's pretty simple, so I'm trying to get good again. It's been a little bit. But we have these. Let me pull up this array or this Excel sheet again. Oh, I mean, we might as well have these in, because I'm just gonna have to brute force these in anyway. But let's make this easier on us. There's 6 of each. That's 6. Perfect. Okay. And we'll do the same again. So all this is inspired by the first, or the early fire defense. The Shin Megami Tensei games. And so I'm gonna have to add a physical defense too here if we're gonna do that. And so the reason I was thinking about Dex was because there are guns in the early ones, and that tends to be the default RPG answer. So I'll add an extra one down here too. Which, you know, having 3 sets of 6 stats, you know, maybe for numerology is not very good. And it would be good to make these a set of 3 7s. That'll help us with our good luck, right? Defense int equals 0. We'll copy this. And then we're gonna turn these into where's the search and replace? Let me do search and replace. Find, no, search, replace. Ooh, okay. Def with a fin. And sorry if I'm missing chat again. I got this other thing up. Okay, cool. Replace. Okay, cool. Is it worth turning a fin to affinity? Maybe not. We'll see. Okay. What are we doing here? By default, I want these all to be 0 because I want to have negative numbers be a possibility to indicate weaknesses. Or, yeah, making it harder to cast something. It's kind of an inspiration from Shin Megami Tensei 5, and then we can go that direction. And yeah, so we have this. We're gonna need a name for this as well. Which makes me wonder, is this like a dictionary thing that needs to happen? Or is this just gonna be a... I don't know. We're gonna call this Missing No as our base one. On Ready, I'm thinking about calculating stuff. I think that might be good to just set up by default some of these things. So we'll set our initial HP to 1 when we start. Yeah, I'm having trouble understanding how this is gonna fit in exactly, but you know, again, we're gonna make this work, and it's gonna be how it is. Max HP is equal to we'll probably have initial HP. What do I call it in my spreadsheet? Base. HP base. That's good. Based. Which makes me want to make these named better. It's going to be MP max. This will be HP max. And this is going to be MP base. And this is going to be HP base. Okay. And then our max HP we can easily calculate because we're not going to do any random rolls at the moment. It's just going to be basic as in max HP is equal to HP base plus level times HP growth. Okay, cool. This will be HP max. And then we'll have to decide from there when to assign the correct HP value. We'll probably do it from the beginning. If it spawns in, we'll update its HP. Otherwise, we won't worry about it. Maybe if you level up, you'll heal all your HP. That might be an interesting kind of mechanic that you can kind of work your way around, maybe. We'll do the same thing with our MP. My plan is that Vitality, I think from my understanding of the mechanics of SMT, is it's entirely a defense stat, and then the rest are kind of split between different types of attack. Charisma is not normally there. And then kind of support stats with agility and luck. Not the most balanced, but kind of a fun set. We'll set this to 1. There we go. So we'll change this to MP. Can I say any word in Spanish? I can. I can say words in Spanish. Tengo cansado. There you go. Luck. All the rest of these, like we have secondary stats we want to mess around with. And those would all be a good place. Those all need to find a place to be processed. And I'm not sure where the best place is to put these. Like I want a critical hit rate, like a base critical hit rate. I want you know, some sort of defensive stats, whether that's like damage mitigation or I don't know. I'll have to find a way to kind of process that correctly. Nacho, what's my game about? My game is not really about anything. This is more of just an experiment. I wanted to see if I could make an RPG at all. I've messed around a little bit with the tutorial, and I kind of got bored of working on the tutorial, so I'm just trying to make my own stuff. Here, I'll show it off. It literally is just a like a menu right now. The picture is just my old middle school. Probably should change that, but it's just a bunch of clowns, and you can select it, and then they kind of flash accordingly. Nothing too crazy. And then over here we have all of our players, and you can just you can have it. You can see all your information, your character's name, maybe an icon or something. In the old games, let's see if I can find my reference image real fast. In In these games, you have like your character, and then you have some sort of icon to represent like how they're doing, and then you have their information. And so I'm just trying to kind of copy the look just to see if I can do it, and then we'll see if I make a game in the future. But that's the idea right now. Just kind of playing around just with the ideas and seeing what it can do. But right now we're just trying to make all the back end work. We definitely don't need a process here. So we can calculate all those things. Let's see. I need some sort of resource to manage all of that. I'm remembering all this stuff I need to add to. Okay, so this is the tutorial one I was working on. This is off of Tempopo. His YouTube channel is pretty cool. He does some tutorials for Godot, this program, and there's a lot of cool stuff that he was doing, and yeah, the tutorials got really long, and so I just wanted to mess around with the tools myself and see if I can do anything about it. And part of the thing he adds is this debug script, so I'm gonna steal that from this project. What is up, Chad? How's it going? We're just doing a little bit of coding over here. So he has this debug script, and that might be a good thing just to add to have. That's nice. Debug. Yeah, so to be honest, a lot of this code is not original. This is me kind of picking and choosing from stuff I copied from a tutorial. So this is a little bit like twice removed, but not a plugin. I don't want a plugin. I want globals, scripts, debug. Oh, okay. I'm not sure what's detox. Do you have to go somewhere? We'll check on this. Okay, I am not seeing any change. I don't think we enabled the global. We did enable the global. Oh, we didn't copy the contents. That'll do it. Okay. Oh, nice. You had me worried there, Chad. Okay. We're looking good there. Let's just see if we can go through the round. Hopefully the meeting went well. Sounds like it would be an interesting time. I know that I don't know, from what I've read about AA stuff, it seems to be that some people feel like they're ready and some people don't feel like they're ready, and it's always interesting from the little stuff I've heard, just to see where people are at and how they kind of process those things. So I want to jump back and forth between these. So at the moment, on enemies menu button press, well, no worries, Chad. I know my stuff here is kind of dry, so I understand if not saying that you're saying that you don't want to listen, but I would understand if you don't. Okay, enemy pressed. That's good. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff about like when you're able to name the disease. There's a certain freedom in that. That's like that. I mean, that's that whole thing that you were talking about with Peugeot a while back about your frustration with Alcoholics Anonymous. Simon, this is GD script. It's a little closer to Python, so this is out of the Godot engine, which is an open source engine that is completely free, so you can just download it and you can do whatever you want with it. And there's not really too many restrictions as long as you're not, I'm assuming if you make malware with it, it's probably not good, but I don't know. They might be totally fine with that. Who knows? But yeah, this is a unique language built for this engine called GD script, and you can use C Sharp or whatever, but for the most part, like I use what's built in here. Some people use Rust. That's a little bit above my commitment level right now, but eventually when I want to kind of speed things up or something, or do some processing a little faster, I'll do that. But yeah, this is most closely related to Python though. But yeah, so when we press on this button, we want it to be similar to when we press on an action menu button. We did something like this, and now I'm wondering why. Okay, wait. On action menu button press, on any menu button press, we want to show the menu button, kind of like what we do up here. We just want to return, so let's do this. And we'll do that. Okay, so what we should see here is that we're returning to actions after pressing the menu button. Now, obviously, this isn't what our final goal is, but it'll just give us a process. Okay, nice. So I'm wondering something like, could we, if I do like the talk, and then like choose to talk to someone, and then I don't want to talk to them, and then do I have to start at the beginning of this list, or could I just jump back to where it started? Who knows? That might be an interesting task, but I don't think it's super necessary right now. So we are going through that. Maybe we could put some kind of dummy variables here. We could do like a new creature. Oh, we can make a constructor. Could we make a constructor? How do you make a constructor? This is the fun stuff. GD script constructor. Can a class have a constructor? Yes, you can override it in a init. Okay, class constructor. Okay, here. So according to this, we can create an init and then super E. When we call it, can we call it the constructor? Do they have a var my class equals load my class. Classes as resources. Exports. Because my thought is something like new. Like I want to do like new creature comma whatever. But I could do just creature, like call, like a creature. Do we just need to make an init for that? Who knows? Let's just try it. We'll throw this in a net just in case. And we'll throw a pass in here just to maintain decorum with our engine. And we'll throw in a string here to the name. We'll just name this. Name will be oh yeah, name. Oh no. Because we already have name. We're gonna call this underscore name. Name equals underscore name. Creature is not found in self. Okay. In battle, creature is not found in self. Generate a new one, maybe, like. Get node. You know, we don't want to get node, we want to like create a node. Oh, dot new, creature dot new. And then we'll name it like, okay, then that's recognized. So name is like clown. Okay, on ready. Let's say what you're gonna do, and then we'll add some sort of like thing, and we'll just see if we can get the name of the monster to display. So we'll just do it like enemies. The first enemies dot name. And we can make this an array of creatures now. Now we have a creature. We can do this for all these. So part of the reason I'm trying to do it this way is because I ideally want, just like in Pokemon or Shin Megami Tensei, that every creature is can be on your side or against you. And so being able to have a consistency of statistics and everything, so you don't have to like, it makes creating enemies more complicated, but it fixes the solution on the other half and keeps it all put together. Aaron, coding seems confusing. This is impressive. Is this for a video game? Yes, this is for a video game. This is kind of just like a fun project, trying to learn how Godot works. Coding is confusing, and this seems impressive. Most of this is copied from other stuff. Like this is half the point. Is like most of this is not my own work. This is like a good portion of this is work from another YouTuber named Tempopo Interactive or something like that. He does a lot of Godot tutorials, and so I was working with some of his stuff, and then I kind of have been trying to reapply it to my own project to see if I can kind of cement some of these ideas. I could not do this from scratch. I still have a lot of work to do, but so far, visual stuff I think is the most impressive for people. So this is my visual stuff. I can go from here, and we got clown to show up, which is nice. We're gonna want to maybe extend this if we have more text. That's kind of how the real game does it, the reference game. So we'll find a way to deal with that, but this does mean that our creatures do seem to be working. Let's print out some information about our enemy, and we can make sure that everything is working right. I think that might be a good way to go. I don't think we necessarily want to do that, but we will print out on ready just as a test. Print maybe it's like a debug. We can just have like a debug function. We can write like a debug initiative. I don't want this to be like in a place where we normally access. We want this like at the very end. That way, you know, we don't get confused. But now that creature is working, I'm kind of happy. I don't know if that's the best place to keep all that information. Like long term, I want some better ways of processing that. But maybe like a dictionary that we can access. That'd be kind of cool. But anyway, that sets those values to default levels. Oh, there's a lot of thinking to go around that, but yeah, we're just gonna debug our debug enemies. We're just gonna print out some information about our enemies. So for enemy in enemies, we're going to print out their max HP, minimum HP, level. Yeah, we'll do that. So print enemy. When you look at words too often, you kind of lose track of like what is the right way to spell that word, and I'm losing it a bit. So we're just going to name. You'll need some sort of divider, so we'll just kind of we'll have some sort of like header, and then we'll do like this, and we need this all in a string. And we'll want this again, and we'll do enemies, and add that, and then we'll do it again down here, so it looks all pretty, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're gonna print the name of the enemy dot name. Right. Level. And we'll do the same for max and minimum HP. I don't think we have to process MP too much on enemies. I think it's probably worth it at some point, but you know, HP and MP or HP is like the thing that do it current HP. No, we'll just do HP. Out of. Oh, we can just write it here. We'll just do it this way. HP is equal to, we'll do %I. Okay, yeah, because these are percent. I don't know how to do these as well as I should. %S. %I divided by %I. How do we format this exactly? I've looked this up like 7 times. Okay. Yeah, but what if we have several different ones? Okay. We can put an array of the things we want. That works. Enemy HP, enemy HP max. Okay. We're gonna run debug enemies down here. Name clown, name. Oh, okay, I messed this up. Name clown, name clown? What is it doing? Did I not save it? Am I crazy? What? Oh, debugger, wait. Unsupported format character. Okay, wait, so that would make sense why it would be weird, but that's really weird. Did I close my browser? Why did I close my browser? I swear, I'm format string. Okay, so string is S. D. Okay, we're looking for D. That is the correct way of doing this. It's funny to me that they like, instead of, stopping or something, they just show it. Yeah, okay, level 1, HP 1 out of 1. Okay. That's weird. Why it would do that, but oh, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? It's correct. Okay. So we've debugged the enemies. Now we could do the same thing for creatures. We could throw some creatures in. And we'll have to find a way to automate this population. But we can do like a new creature. And this is going to be Aleph. Aleph. And then populating the initiative will be interesting. So we'll do that too. It's going to be some sort of calculation of the agilities. So that'll probably be its own function. So we'll do some sort of populate initiative, and it will it'll sort. It'll do some sort of in-place sort or something. I don't know. So we're gonna copy this. We're going to I want there to be some sort of separation. So maybe we'll add like an empty print above and below, or like a new line character. The front and back to distinguish it. That way if we have a bunch, like we're gonna have 3 here anyway, so let's just do that. And then we're gonna make this debug enemies the same for players as well. Is that what we call it? Players? Players? Yeah. Okay. Debug players, and so for player and players. Really, ideally we should just say like creature and whatever, but just so we don't have to worry about this. We're doing this every time. I'm using to learn my keyboard shortcuts so I don't have to, so you can do search and replace easier than this. That's 7. PLAYERS is also 7, so we don't have to worry about any weird formatting stuff. Let's do debug players, debug enemies. Oh, there we go. We have Aleph, we have 3 clowns, and yep, Aleph level 1, HP 1 out of 1. Here are 3 clowns displaying correctly. It does take up a lot of space, but we'll find out some sort. What is the premise of the Cool Creature game? The premise of this game is nothing. Like, there's no real premise. I have an idea for a bigger game, but right now this is my attempt to make a prototype, so I don't have to think too much about the other one. This one is heavily inspired by Shin Megami Tensei. I can show a picture. So this is my base. So I basically just ripped the art style from the other one, just to kind of practice to see if I could do it correctly. But the game I'm inspired by, it's all about just there's a lot of negotiating with demons, trying to survive in like a post-apocalyptic world. Very cool, very much. I don't know. It seems very valid to the conversations or that I'm around, just talking about all this kind of stuff. So cool series. You should check it out. It's really fun and deals with a lot of cool ideas. I'm basically taking that. I made this little cool clown guy using some pixel art, and then I just got a picture of my childhood middle school, just because I had it for a video I made recently, and so I was just like, okay, I'll throw it in the background there. I can switch it out. Probably will. I don't think it's great to have a battle at your middle school as being part of this, but it is what it is. And so right now it's just a battle simulator, or will be. So you can fight or talk to the clowns to have them join your side maybe. And yeah, you just kind of do that. Ideally, we get like a full system that is like the easiest explanation would be something like Pokemon, where like each enemy has their own abilities and everything. And then you could take that system, rip it out, and then put it into something else. So that's my plan right now. So before that, I have to make a prototype that works and, looks okay. And then from there, I can kind of do what I want and make it work. But yeah. So we've debugged our characters and our players. Let's do the same with initiative, right? Like, I mean, you might as well. I think it would be kind of fun. There are games like that that often take place in a high school. That usually is the kind of stereotype. And we'll search and replace. We'll find player and replace with creature. Find. Oh, gosh. Really? I feel like there could be a better way of doing this. Because it wants me to replace all of... Oh, why? Okay, there's got to be a better system for this. For now. Until I find a better way to manage this editor. For the most part, I enjoy this editor. I don't think it's a bad editor at all. It's nice to have these breakpoints and everything, but that search and replace stuff is kind of lame. I need to find out how to do that more efficiently. I'm more used to VS Code for that kind of stuff. Yeah, Aaron, it's a lot. It's because it's Japanese in origin. You have a lot of the kind of Shinto backgrounds built into it, and so there's a lot of like, I think there's this inherent understanding that everything has its own spirit, and so spirit probably is a better way of putting words to it. I think demon has a lot of baggage. Of course, they play around with the idea of angels and demons fighting. I think it's actually more interesting if you deal with the ideas of, in that series you also have, all the Hindu gods and goddesses and all the Norse ones and everything. And so they all kind of play a role in the consciousness and in the world. And so kind of dealing with a spiritual-ish realm, but in a more explicit way, I think is a really cool concept, and I think definitely should be explored more in games. Luckily, that series is still going strong. They just released some more games that are along similar lines, and so I'm excited. I haven't played Metaphor ReFantazio, which is Atlas's newest game, but from my understanding, it's pretty. I mean, they love Jung, like. So plenty of Jungian philosophy and stuff, and so I'm excited to mess around with it once I finish the 4 other games I'm juggling right now, and I'm excited. Well, let's make an initiative population function. Do that. So return void. Okay. So this is interesting. There's a lot of different ways to do this. And I think I'm thinking weirdly enough that a dictionary will be the best way of dealing with this. that might seem, I think this is like a hashing problem kind of thing, and I might be overthinking this, but we have like our initiative. I don't want to call it initiative. I want to call it like init dict maybe. We'll make this a variable. It's a dictionary, and it's empty. Initializing it as empty. Okay. And then we're gonna go through all the enemies, maybe all the players and all the enemies, because maybe if we want to give all the players just like a bit of an advantage, we could do it that way. We could even change it so the initiative is slightly affected by luck, but only like so slightly that you would just barely beat out other people with your same initiative. Like there's ways we could go about this, but I think this is the way to go. And so we're going to go through all the players for, creature in players. I'm going to pass this for creature. Yeah. In enemies. We can pass this. We're gonna throw stuff into the dictionary. Yeah, Aaron. I think that's my goal, is to have some sort of like, I think the traditional Western response to all of that is pretty lame. to Shinto, Buddhism, Hindu, pagan ideas, and I think all my favorite writers, G.K. Chesterton included, actually address all these ideas pretty well, and for the most part, I don't see that represented in culture generally, especially in the West. And so I'd love to find like a way to kind of process that. So I'm super interested in that, and that's kind of my goal, is to do that eventually, with a future project. But we'll see. That might be fun. So we have this, and then we're gonna take all the members of this dictionary. So we're gonna have a dictionary. Dot keys, right? Oh, okay. Oh wait, okay. We're gonna look up dictionary. We'll find our stuff we need. Methods: find key, duplicate, get, or add. Has all answers. Empty. Keys. We want keys. Keys. Okay. Init dict keys. So we'll grab all the keys out of this. We can call this keys as well. Our keys. We'll just have another loop for keys in, for key in this pass, and then here we're gonna throw everything. Throw everything into initiative in this order. And then once we fill initiative, then we can do that. So we're going to populate the initiative here, and remove this to do. Move it down. And this is going to look the same, which, is not ideal that we're replicating similar functionality twice. So we'll write it once, we'll do it again later. So for every creature, we're going to take their agility, maybe. At the moment, we can definitely add some sort of rolling mechanic to make sure it doesn't end up the same. It's going to end up the same every time. This is about the initial round. So maybe just having straight agility be compared face to face isn't the worst thing in the world, and then we can just deal with it later. How does Pokemon deal with it? Is it like Pokemon speed? Turn order? Video game? Oh, it's probably Bulbapedia. Speed. Stats. Speed. Is there nothing else on speed? Okay, wait. Determines the order Pokemon can act in battle. If Pokemon are moving with the same priority, Pokemon with higher speed at the start will generally make a move before one with lower speed. Yeah, I mean, that's the, there's a huge kind of debate, and I've been talking to a friend about this, and I think that's going to be a conversation on this channel too, about how there's a huge argument in kind of the areas of the internet I'm on where we're talking about left brained thinking and right brained thinking, and left brain thinking is trying to put everything into categories, like hyper categorization, hyper explaining. Your magic systems have to be thoroughly thought through, all these like strict systems. And the other brain's thinking, the right brain's thinking, is much more poetic, much more along the lines of things happen and there are these like cool magic things happening, and you don't really need to be given a reason for why they're happening. They just are. And it's just kind of going with the way things go. And Tolkien kind of sits right in the middle, and most modern fantasy is moving towards the right brain or the left brain thinking. And so it's all about trying to George R. R. Martin's criticism of Tolkien was something along the lines of like at the end of the trilogy, Tolkien has this ending where Aragorn is now king, and George R. R. Martin in response is saying, well, what is the tax policy that he implements? Like, what is the proper tax policy? So he has a very postmodern way of processing this, where it's almost deconstruction-y or deconstructionist in a response. And I think that goes too far. I think Tolkien actually drives a really good center to it. But I definitely enjoy the like concretizing, the systematizing, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's all RPGs, right? It's all numbers at the end of it, especially JRPGs. And so it doesn't neatly fit into any boxes, but categorization is helpful. And sometimes it's a hindrance. When does the tool become less too important for its own good? Maybe would be a good way. It's a huge conversation. So only when they have the same speed, it decides randomly. And right now I'm not doing any randomization, so we'll just throw it all into this dictionary, and we'll go that direction, I think. So we'll do it like they do, and we'll just purely just grab the agility and just throw it in there. So like the creature dot agility. We're gonna put this the init dict creature dot agility. So we just throw it in. We don't have to think about it. We're just throwing it in. So we'll do the same for this. We can even merge these two arrays together. And then for every key, I mean, let's just print this first. Let's make sure we're not calling debug initiative yet. Okay, good. Because I just want to print this dictionary real fast. Um, I'll see if I can even do it, if it won't just like, sometimes it doesn't like you printing stuff like that because it doesn't have a way to display it. Okay, so we got an error. Index 0, out of bounds, get index 0. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because we just need to throw it in. Like, it's not like we're calling it, we just want to throw it. Creature. We put the creature at the point in the dictionary where... Okay, that should fix that. Okay, run this again. Okay, so we're only getting the resource, which... Oh well. Right now I just want to make sure that we're not getting... We'll see what data type we're getting, because I think we're getting an array. And if we are getting an array... Oh gosh, resource numbers. Is there a display they have built in for this? Because then I could just do that. Breakpoint, visualizers. Dictionary size 1. Oh, we might have to do collision detections, maybe? Okay, we'll do checking if key exists. If key does exist. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. This is the best way of doing this, because then we can avoid this nonsense. Okay. If, or sorry, init dict dot has key. Since it has key, that's a thing, right? Oh gosh, dictionary has a key. Okay, just this has. So we just want to check if it has this, has the creature dot agility. If it does, init dict creature dot agile. Appends creature, else just gonna add an array with it in it. So what we're doing here, so I'm not crazy, what we're doing here is we create this dictionary, we find out if the creature's agility is in the dictionary. If it is, we just throw it on the end of the list. Otherwise, it's just the list itself. We're going to do this again for both, and we'll probably make this into a function that we can run twice. And it's going to be like some sort of internal function inside this function. Because, I don't know, I think that's sad to do that twice. We'll try this. We'll do a breakpoint again, because then we can just see it pretty fast. Dictionary size 1 is an array size 4. That's correct. That should be what it is. Okay. So we have this dictionary 0. Not dictionary 0. Okay. We're going to throw everything into initiative order. So for key, for every key, gosh. The question is, in what order is it going to give me the keys back? Is it going to be in the order I put them in? Can I make a new constructor? An auto combat add-on for Owlbear? Not yet. Not yet, Grim. It's this is a ways away. I can show you what it looks like though. I don't know how long you've been here, but I've copied this this UI pretty nicely. But nothing too crazy. So making auto combat, not quite there. Milk. Oh gosh, I need to finish this part. Here, let me just. Oh, it does weird stuff. Okay. Right now, this is what I have. Is there is an auto battle button. It does not do anything, but nothing really does anything, so it's not that crazy. But we can like choose our enemy. You can attack. You can pretend to attack. It just boots you back out of the menu. It's as if you had just pressed escape too, but people talk about RPGs being menu simulators, and you know, I'm living up to it. For every key, yeah. So we need to. I'm hoping it's the beginning of something awesome. Right now, this is kind of my my prototype, and my hope is that I can make something that's inspired by Shin Megami Tensei. I think that's been the thing that's been capturing my imagination lately, and so this is my attempt at working on that. Right now I have no clue how dictionaries work, and I don't really have a playground for this, so this might just be where I need to mess around with that. So if I did something like test dictionary, and I don't need to be very special about this. What do I even call this? Dict. We'll just call this test. So if I test 3 is equal to 3, like test 2 equal to 2, 1 is equal to 1, and then for key, we'll copy this. Test print key. Okay, let's just see what happens. I need to get rid of that. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so it's just gonna give me the keys straight in the order I gave them, which let's double check. Let's double check. You know, because you can never be too uncertain. Yeah, okay, cool. So if it's going to give me back in the same order, I need to sort this before I get it back. So dot sort. Because it returns a void, because I need to turn this into a variable, which we can do. We can turn that into a variable. Var keys is equal to probably keep all that. Okay. Keys is equal to test dot keys. Keys dot sort. And then we're going to print the keys and see what happens. 2, 3, 1. Okay. It did not sort them. So let's find out how arrays work. Methods. Sort. Okay. That should have worked. I don't know why that didn't work. It should have sorted in place. Keys, test keys. Keys, what does this return? Keys returns a list of keys, which would return a list. I mean, is it a valid thing that to sort? Like, could I say this is like an array int? Because it is. Could I cast it to int? Huh. Because that wouldn't explain why I can't sort it. Let's remove this debug real fast because it is getting in the way right now, and we can throw in the debug initiative so we can just throw it in later. Interesting. 2, 3, 1. 2, 3, 1. Really? If I print arrays. Oh, what? Oh my gosh, I am... Everybody ignore that. Don't pay attention to that. I made that mistake. Okay, well, I'll explain the mistake so that no one else falls into it. I didn't change my for loop to address the new keys array. And so that was the problem. Which means that that's all fixed. Now it's in order. Now we have bottom to top, lowest to highest, which means ideally I'll put enemies first. If I want players to go first, I want the enemies to go second. We could get a little bit more tricky with everything. For now, I want enemies to go second. I think that's more fair. Gives it more consistency. I like that a little bit more if I do that. Unless I reverse it, and then I don't have to worry about it. Too much. Trying too much to do too much. Instead, we're gonna do this. We're going to unlock or debug initiative. We're going to keys is equal to init dictionary. Keys, we're going to sort them for every key in keys. Yes. We're going to take our initiative array and we're going to append I think there's there's a two thing. There's two levels here. So every key in keys, we're going to, for every creature in init dict key, we're going to append the creature. And then we need to indent this. Okay, so that puts him actually second. So wait, append, because append is the way we're doing this. I was thinking about pushing on the stack instead of appending. So that means people who are first up, first come, first serve. So if I want players to go first, I put players first. And so Aleph goes first, and then the 3 clowns go. That's right. Perfect. Bunch of other stuff. We'll need to map players out. Put that into... Okay, here. I'll say this out loud, and then we'll probably close off the stream pretty soon, just because it's been 2 hours. So I'll stop and I'll be doing something else. But okay, so when we generate everything at first, we're going to pull up images, these buttons, to correspond to each, and then as we defeat each one, you'll play an animation for them to kind of go away. And we'll do something similar for all the characters. So each one will be populated. And I think that's pretty good. That seems like a good start. I feel like I didn't get a lot done, but you know, just trying to get into the groove of things, and then also streaming it that is a little different. But thank you everyone who was able to stop by and kind of chat a little bit. Does this need to be pulled over? Just a little bit. I feel like that looks better. Sorry, I'm distracted right now. I think that needs to come down a little bit too. I think that needs to come down a little bit too. I kind of like that better. Without any gaps like that. Okay. Anyway. So that's my plan. I don't know how much of this I'll stream. I think this was a fun time to do this. Thank you all for stopping by. To remember everyone who was here. Aaron, Grim, Afriel, Chad, Nacho, Simon, mostly not working, and Neil. Yeah, thank you all for hanging out and just chatting with me as I was working on some of this fun coding stuff for my my weekend. But I hope to see you all soon, and I hope you all have an amazing Thanksgiving weekend, and have a real good one. See ya.